Alright, this is the Hair of God. Welcome to my first official installment of my Demon Souls lore series. We got a lot to cover today. The Nexus is probably one of the most confusing things that I have ever had to try to figure out, and there's still a lot that I'm fuzzy on. I'm gonna try to just explain it and the people in it without going too far into speculation, because I have a lot of ideas that a lot of you probably disagree with, and with good reason, because there's a lot of gray in this area, and if I say something that is wrong or sounds wrong, and you have something from in-game to back it up, like if I say something and then a character directly contradicts it, then yeah, let me know so I can rectify that. So, the Nexus. When was it created? And why was it created? And what exactly is it? This is probably going to be the most speculation that I have here in this video, because I think that the Nexus was in fact created by the Monumentals with the purpose of keeping the world together after the destruction wrought by the Old One. I'm sure that some people believe that the Nexus was in existence long before this the first incident with the Old One happened, but I personally disagree. But I'm going to try not to let that influence the rest of the information I give. What we do know is that the Nexus is a hub for demon slayers and other warriors seeking to reclaim their corporeal flesh. If they've lost their body, they come here as a soul. Well, they can be summoned here if the Monumentals see them to be fit warriors. If you have a purpose to serve and you die, the Monumentals can summon you to this Nexus, which is a bit of a purgatorial place, and they allow you to prove yourself and give you a chance to reclaim your body. Obviously, the trade-off is that you are serving their purposes now. This happens to the player character, the Slayer of Demons, at the very beginning of the game, obviously. The Monumentals are extremely wise. Well, supposedly extremely wise. There are certain characters who would disagree with that. For example, the Crestfallen Warrior. He says that the Monumentals revived the Old One. Everything else points to Alent awakening the Old One. The Crestfallen Warrior, however, says, those fools revived the Old One on a whim, and now they've trapped us here in a desperate attempt to undo their mistake. Perhaps the Monumentals gave Alent the power to summon the Old One? We don't know. The Crestfallen Warrior is very interesting, and we're not going to get too much into him, although he does give a very interesting few bits of dialogue. Anyway, for all intents and purposes, we're going to say that the Monumentals are in fact wise beings, whether they make mistakes or not. They were involved in the first incident with the Old One, in which they sealed him in the Nexus, which is why I think that the Nexus was created for that purpose, sort of created as a safety net in case this ever happened again. They created the Archstones. So basically everything that you're using to defeat the demons is because of them. All of your tools, the ability to travel through the Nexus, the ability to travel through the Archstones, that's all the Monumentals doing. This is all things that have happened long ago in the past. The Monumentals, however, obviously they're very ancient beings, because this happened, well, we don't know how many years ago, but a very long time ago. One of them is surviving. The others are all dead. And that's really strange, because the last surviving Monumental seems to be immortal. When you attack him, he says, "You cannot harm me," or something along those lines. So I don't know how a Monumental dies exactly, but all of them except one have, so we know that they can. The Monumentals are described as a vessel race. They have no emotions or anything, they're just sort of there, and they're ruled by logic and wisdom and everything. The last surviving Monumental, he's a pretty nice dude. He gives you the Friend's Ring, which it supports camaraderie with others, since its bearer aids warriors in other worlds and is aided by them. This was the last, well, this is the wish of the last Monumental. So he just wants you to be bros with everybody, and you know, he's a cool guy. Even if he can be kind of a pretentious dick sometimes. The Monumentals call warriors into the Nexus upon death. Perhaps not even upon death, but I think it's after you die the Monumentals call you. And you're brought in, and then you have to prove yourself. You have to prove that you're a worthy demon slayer. At which point you receive the blue eye stone, which is described as proof of you having been accepted by the Monumental as a demon slayer. So maybe he's kind of from the school of hard knocks, like, you know, you gotta prove your mettle before I help you out here, buddy. Which makes sense. I mean, you don't want to just give everyone in the world a blue eye stone, because I'm sure they have a limited supply. Maiden in Black is probably the most famous servant of the Monumentals. She was once one of the most powerful demons in existence, and she possesses the ability to manipulate souls, which, yeah, that seems like something a very powerful demon would do. However, the Monumental says that she became a demon, which you would think that she was a demon and that she became whatever she is now, but the Monumental says that it is her duty to lull the old one back to slumber. That is why she helps those who hunt demons, and that is why she has become a demon herself. So, we don't know if she was a human before, or what she was, but she became a demon, so she had the strength to help in the fight against the old one, which is a pretty baller thing to do, you know? The Monumental, there's so much you learn from the Monumental by talking to him, but a lot of people never do that because, well, he's all the way up those fucking stairs and nobody wants to walk up those. The Monumentals also banned the soul arts, which are what both Frake and actually Urbane uses. However, Urbane justifies it. Well, we're not going to talk about that right now. Those are for later videos. That's a whole different thing. The Monumental's plan for you is that you are going to go about slaying all of the old one's demons. Once there are no more demons to feed its thirst for souls, it will call you, being the most powerful being in existence, I guess. It'll call you to it, and it thinks that it's luring you in, when hopefully the opposite is true. However, depending on the ending you choose, that could go either way, and the Monumental's plan can backfire. When speaking about the old one, the Monumental says that the soul is the essence with which living beings comprehend the world around them. When one loses the soul, one loses the mind. A land barren of souls is absorbed by fog and banished to the infinite darkness. That does not sound good. Nobody wants the land to be banished to infinite darkness. So when they say that half the world was lost, they literally mean that half the world was banished into infinite darkness forever, because all the people there lost their souls. The old one is a bottomless pit of nothingness, with an insatiable appetite for the souls collected by its faithful demons. So the old one is this bottomless pit that just continually takes in power, and it just takes and takes and takes. But by itself it can't do anything, so it creates these demons to go out and collect souls for it. So the Monumentals want you to lull the old one back to its slumber. This, of course, is not something that everyone might be interested in, because, I don't know, whatever, maybe you're crazy, maybe you like the old one, maybe you want to be a demon yourself, you don't know. In any case, if you say no to the Monumental when he asks you to go and do this for him, he pretty much laughs at you and says, well, then you're going to be trapped here forever. And later he'll say, you must despise me, but remember, we Monumentals too are trapped within this Nexus, for we prevent your world from breaking apart at the seams. So, you, the Maiden in Black, and the Monumentals are all trapped in here. They're bound to the Nexus just like you are. And the Maiden in Black, in fact, if you kill her, she revives just like you would, saying that she cannot die while the Nexus binds her. She actually apologizes, because she's such a sweetheart, I guess. The Maiden in Black is also extremely powerful, and we've already talked about this, but her soul grants you the Soul Sucker ability, which instantly kills anyone who you use it on, as long as they're not boss, because, I don't know. And see, this is where the lore starts to get a little weird, because it says she was once one of the oldest, most dangerous demons herself, yet the Monumental says that she became a demon to stop the old one. So, what that means and where that can be reconciled, I would love to hear you guys' thoughts on that. The old one is not God, we know that. Or we don't know that, because Alant could be, but Alant would tell us otherwise, because Alant says that God is merciful and so created the old one. And there were various other little things that sort of deny that the old one is God. The old one is almost certainly not God. They're two different beings, both very powerful. Alant thinks that God created the old one to destroy humanity, because God, in his mercy, saw that humanity was just not doing too well, so he was like, I'm just gonna put you out of your misery, here's this soul-devouring demon. And we are fools to resist it. And we should just accept it as a gift from God and let ourselves be destroyed. Alright, there's a lot more to talk about in regards to the old one, the Monumentals, the Nexus, and the Maiden in Black. But we don't have time, and they will be covered, hopefully, in coming episodes, in coming installments of this. We're going to talk about magic, miracles, the Boletarian Palace. We're going to go through every different archstone, not the giants. Well, to an extent we'll talk about the giants and their archstone, but mostly we're just going to talk about what we know about, which is the 5 archstones that still remain. And the Maiden in Black is some kind of powerful demon, but we don't know why or when or what kind of demon she became. That's something I don't know. That's something I would really like clarified for me. So let me know. Alright, this has been the Hair of God. Coming up, we've got Boletarian Palace, King Alant the 12th, Ostrava, Bior. Yeah, it's a pretty cool place. I mean, if you don't count the dragons. Alright, we'll see ya.